Mr. Squidward, welcome to the night shift.
Hello, folks, and welcome to the night shift. My name is Loro Antonio, and I will be joined by Isaiah Leung in just a little bit, and looking forward to getting the Asian Skip Bayless's take on tonight's Rams and Seahawks game. And before we get started here, you can follow the MI6 Sports Network on your favorite social media platforms, and be sure to subscribe to our podcast channel on your podcast app today. You can like us on Facebook. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Instagram, and subscribe and like on our YouTube channel page. And also check out the MI6 website for articles and blogs and podcasts that are posted on that website as well. First up, let's talk about the Rams and Seahawks Thursday night game. I obviously called that game. I have definitely a lot to talk about on this game. And then also, Russell Wilson left the game in the third quarter with a broken finger, and he did not return. So we'll get to that in just a little bit. And then we'll answer this question, that if Russell Wilson has to miss time with the injury, how big of a blow would that be for the Seahawks? I'll answer that momentarily. So first, let's recap of the game. So, folks, the LA Rams came into the 12s, and I feel like that the Rams have the Seahawks number. And we'll tell you, they beat them by the final of 26-17. Matthew Stafford had a great game. He also himself had a finger injury, but he played a good football game, throwing a touchdown pass to Tyler Higbee in the end zone. And then talk about Sonny Michel and Darrell Henderson having great games today. I think the Rams running game is back to being very good. The Rams defense is not good just yet, but I do feel like that the Rams can return to form defensively, because you know that the Rams have a very good defense when it comes to Aaron Donald. Talk about guys like Jalen Ramsey. Those are your two best stars on that team defensively. So as for the Seahawks here, I thought they played great. They fought until the end, and then Russell Wilson getting hurt. Geno Smith came in. He stepped up when he needed to, but it wasn't enough for the Seahawks tonight. So, anyways, let's talk about this. So, if Russell Wilson has to miss time with this injury, how big of a blow will this be for the Seahawks? I think that will be a huge blow for the Seahawks, because the Seahawks are built around Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson is the man. It's his team. Like I mentioned when the Legion of Boom left, this is Russell Wilson's team. Russell Wilson is comeback king in the fourth quarter. He's a guy that you can't underestimate in big spots, but he just has to have a better offensive line to protect him, so that he has more time to throw the ball down the field. He just can't be scrambling around too much. That's how you get hurt. So if he does have to miss time, I think it'll be a big blow. But I heard that Geno Smith could definitely step up, because Geno Smith has had prior experience being a starting quarterback in this league. It obviously didn't work out with the New York Jets, but But Geno Smith is a serviceable backup quarterback that can win you ball games. And he has had that experience playing for West Virginia. And I also remember Geno Smith when I was in high school. He was coming in as one of the top quarterbacks in the coming into the NFL then. I thought he was going to be the number one pick in the draft, but he fell in the second round. So I think Geno Smith will be would step up big time if needed. So that's kind of my thoughts there. We'll get to Isaiah's thoughts on that in just a little bit here. So we're going to talk about my thoughts on the Patriots trading Stephon Gilmore to the Panthers for a 6th-round pick. I think this move was more about, hey, we have Mac Jones. We are going to build this team around him. That's what I think. I think that trading him will save the Patriots a lot of money, and I think that you can save that money for the Patriots to spend more money on offensive skill positions in the next offseason so that the Patriots can find a way to get better and better with Mac Jones. But I do feel like that the Patriots should draft a receiver in next year's draft because I think that Mac Jones would urge the front office to draft his guy, John Mechie, to join the New England Patriots if the Patriots fall in the top 10 or top 15. So we'll have to see on that. But obviously, Stephon Gilmore was a big part of the Patriots' last Super Bowl. He was the man that knocked down the game-winning incompletion against Jacksonville in the 2017 AFC Championship game. And you also talk about him being a lockdown corner, which he was when Malcolm Butler left. So I think Stephon Gilmore will be missed, but since he's joining the Panthers, he's from that area. And he is going to be a great addition with a healthy J.C. Horn, with Rashawn Melvin, Dante Jackson. You got Jeremy Chin in the backfield. I think he's a good veteran presence to have on that secondary of Carolina, because the Carolina Panthers are the number one defensive team, and he already adds to that depth. And also, the Carolina Panthers are definitely going to be scary to watch defensively when Gilmore is on the field, when he is able to return. And he is going to be able to face the New England Patriots in Week 9. So I'm looking forward to seeing how that matchup will unfold here. So those are kind of my thoughts there. And then let's talk about some Week 4 games that I'm looking forward to the most on Sunday. So obviously, I'll be calling the Patriots and Texans game on the ColorCast app. So if you guys are listening, be sure to join me on the ColorCast app on Sunday morning for that game. And then also, I'll be calling the Kansas City Chiefs and Buffalo Bills showdown on Sunday Night Football on NBC. I'll be doing that game as well. And I think those two are games that I'm looking forward to the most, just because seeing the Bills and the Chiefs go head-to-head, I think Allen might want revenge on the Chiefs. But the Chiefs are 2-2. I think the Bills could have a chance to go 4-1. But I think that the Chiefs might need this win some more, need this win badly, just because I think that the Chiefs are I think the Chiefs are definitely a team that's going to contend for the Super Bowl, also with Buffalo and also the Cleveland Browns. So mostly in Week 4, I'm looking forward to Patriots, Texans, and I'm also looking forward to Bills and Chiefs. But also, another matchup that's intriguing is Aaron Rodgers going up against Joe Burrow in the Bayou. And I say that because I think that the Green Bay Packers and the Cincinnati Bengals, they're both great offensively, but their defense is not very good. Just to get that out there. But anyways, with that being said here, also I'm looking forward to seeing what Monday Night Football is about with the Colts and the Ravens. So we got Isaiah Leung joining us back from his home. So were you able to get your internet fixed and all that, man?
Yeah, thankfully I was. What's up, Loro? Hope you are having a wonderful Thursday night. You know, I just finished the show with my guy, Adam Ace Barber on the Coast to Coast Entertainment Network. Really good show. Really recommend you guys all to go and check it out after you're done watching this, of course. But, man, it was a great Thursday night football game. It was a great night over on sports and just a great night in general. But yeah, happy to be on the night shift finally for the first time in what seems like a long time, and happy that I'm finally back home and able to do a show at home because my internet is finally back.
Absolutely. Now, I was talking about the Rams Seahawks game. What was your overall thoughts on this game?
Well, a couple of thoughts that I had is first of all, DK Metcalf is the best wide receiver in the NFL. This dude is an absolute monster. He's so big and also he's very physical. And also, when you look at DK Metcalf, you look at a guy that's you would think that he's very big, so he might not be as fast. But he's also a very fast wide receiver as well. So he's so good, man. He absolutely torched that Rams secondary tonight. Him and Jalen Ramsey, I know were going at it all night long, and I think he won the battle against Jalen Ramsey. But it was a very very fun battle to watch. He basically, I think on one of the touchdowns, he literally just shoved Jalen Ramsey out of the way for the touchdown, and it was just really special to watch. You know, he's definitely one of the best, or the best, in my opinion, the best wide receiver in the NFL. You know, we can have that debate at a different time, but that's what I think. The second takeaway that I have is that, you know, I just think that when you look at the Seattle Seahawks, this is Russell Wilson's football team. And if the Seahawks lose Russell Wilson for a significant time, if they lose him for like 2-3 weeks, the Seattle Seahawks are going to be in trouble because right now I believe they've already lost like 3 games. If you lose Wilson for 2 or 3 games, if that finger is still bothering him, or the MRI reveals that, you know, there was a tear or there was a fracture in that finger, the Seattle Seahawks are screwed. So they better be praying and hoping that MRI comes back clean, because you cannot afford to lose Russell Wilson for a significant portion of the season, because without him, like, Geno Smith, I think he played decently tonight, but you know, you cannot rely on Geno Smith moving forward to win you football games. Their defense is not that great. We saw that tonight. Jamal Adams, he, you know, overran a couple of routes against, first with Deshaun Jackson, and I believe the other one was Cooper Kupp. And then that offensive line is not that good. That defense, like I said already, is not that good. You need Russell Wilson, because Russell Wilson really masked a lot of the problems the Seattle Seahawks have on their football team. And without him, all those problems are going to be just completely exposed into thin air. And the other takeaway that, you know, I had, Loro, is that Rams offense, I said, I think a couple of weeks ago, I believe it was with Ace, I believe you were on that show on Wild Sports Talk, where I said that I believe that the San Francisco 49ers could stop that Rams offense and contain that Rams offense. When everybody was saying how that Rams offense was so potent and it was unstoppable and it was so dynamic and so high flying and all that stuff. But the thing is that Rams offense has looked vulnerable the last couple of weeks. They've looked, you know, pretty pedestrian the last couple of weeks, and it's really tough to tell, because you're going up against Seattle, whose defense is known for not being that good. Arizona, their secondary, not that good at all, and Arizona shut down the Rams. Seattle held the Rams in check for the first half and midway into the third quarter. I know they're playing against the division, and the division knows what Sean McVay loves to do and is familiar with that Rams offense. But let's hold off on anointing the Rams offense as the second coming of the greatest show on turf.
Yes, absolutely. But also, the question is, like, if Russell Wilson has to miss time, how big of a blow is that to the Seahawks? I think that's a huge blow, but I do think that Geno Smith, if he can come in and step up, I think that would be fantastic.
Huge blow, huge blow. Like I said in my earlier remarks, if Russell Wilson needs to miss any portion of the season, the Seattle Seahawks are screwed, because this man keeps the Seattle Seahawks from being a bottom 5 team in the NFL. Yes, I know they got DK Metcalf. I know they have Tyler Lockett. But besides that, the Seahawks are a pretty pedestrian type of a team. Their defense is not that good. Their offensive line is terrible. So Russell Wilson is the only thing that keeps this team from sinking. And if Russell Wilson has got to miss any portion of the season, the Seattle Seahawks are looking at two losses or maybe three in the 3 games that we are expecting him to miss. So they better hope and pray that Russell Wilson doesn't miss any time, because Loro, you and I both know this. The NFC West is going to be an absolute bloodbath of a division, and you cannot afford to lose games in this division. You have to keep pace with the Arizonas of the world, the Rams, and also the 49ers as well. This is just a tightly competitive division. You cannot afford to lose any ground. The Seahawks, they better hope and pray Russell Wilson is okay.
I think he'll be fine. I just think that he could have been playing with through that injury, that finger injury, because Kobe has played through that. Just wanted to throw that out there. But I think that he'll be fine. I think that the trainers will tape it up and he'll be ready to go the next time the Seahawks take the field when they go to Pittsburgh.
Well, hopefully, he is fine, because, if he has to miss that Pittsburgh game, then you can mark out an L in the Seattle Seahawks schedule.
We'll see. I mean, I'm just optimistic that he'll be well enough to play in that game. So, anyways, Isaiah kind of left, and we wanted to get his take on the on Stephon Gilmore going to the Carolina Panthers for a for 6th round pick. I kind of talked about that. So we'll just have to invite him again. So I kind of talked about all that. But moving on, while he's away here, we're going to talk about the Red Sox taking on the Red Sox taking down the New York Yankees in the AL wildcard game by the final 6-2. From what I saw, I mean, Garrett Cole. So he just said that his internet just gave out. So, anyways, we'll have to resend the invite here. So my thoughts on the Red Sox taking down the Yankees 6-2 in that AL wildcard game is Garrett Cole choked. That was not a good performance by him. Nathan Eovaldi pitched a very good ball game, and I thought that the Red Sox offense just came to play, and they always have had the Yankees number in the playoffs since 2004. So, anyways, let's talk about this next thing. So Chris Taylor hit a walk-off 2-run homer to lift the Dodgers in the NLDS. I was calling that game, and I was like, oh my gosh, Chris Taylor, he has always been Captain Clutch to having clutch hits for the Dodgers. So, and he's always been that underrated player, and he is a guy that just gets the job done, and he's just a clutch player. And the Dodgers will take on the San Francisco Giants in the division series. So, anyways, we're sending Isaiah the link right now. So let's go into our comment section. Sammy Sharp is tuning in. Welcome. Thank you for tuning in, Sammy. He said, I'm surprised that Carolina snagged Stephon Gilmore. I was too. Like, they were very thin in the secondary, and I think that Stephon Gilmore could really add, like, this veteran presence on that team. And he's obviously from that area of the United States, especially South Carolina, North Carolina. He was obviously a Gamecock. He played under Steve Spurrier and all that. So he also said he thought that the Green Bay Packers were going to pick him up. Obviously, the Packers picked up Jalen Smith is now a Green Bay Packer. So the Green Bay Packers are definitely getting some much-needed help at linebacker here. So that's definitely good here for the Green Bay Packers. Also, folks, let's talk about the Giants and Dodgers NLDS game preview. So, Walker Buehler will be on the mound tomorrow. He'll go up against Logan Webb. And I heard reports that people were like, oh, they think that the Dodgers can can handily beat the Giants. And I think so too. I think that the Dodgers, they split the regular season series with the Giants. And I think that the Dodgers will find a way to get a victory here. And as for the Giants here, they're a team that nobody thought that they would be here at this point, just because I thought that the Giants were going to be bad. But Farhan Zaidi, Gabe Kapler did a great job in creating this roster and being creative with that roster. What I meant to say, especially with guys like building around Buster Posey, building guys around like Brown and Crawford and all that. So, folks, I think it's going to be a great series, but give me the Dodgers in 4. Walker Buehler will be on the mound tomorrow. I like our chances with him, and he is very dominant against the Giants, so I expect him to pitch well. And then Julio Urias will go Saturday. He will go up against Kevin Gausman. And then on Monday, my guess would be Max Scherzer will be going on the mound when the Dodgers return home for Game 3. And then Game 4, if there is a Game 4, then I would expect Tony Gonsolin to start that game, and it might be somewhat of a bullpen game for the Dodgers. But the Giants, they're a team that relies on analytics. The Dodgers are an analytical team too. Also, the Rays. The Giants like to platoon guys in the lineup like Lamont Wade Jr., but I think Lamont Wade Jr. should be an everyday player, not just a platoon guy, because I think that Lamont Wade could play either first base, he could play left field, he could play right field, move Mike Yastrzemski to center, and then put Evan Longoria to the bench. The Giants definitely have the depth to do that. So those are kind of my thoughts there. So looking forward to a fun series between those two. So now, folks, with that being said, let's talk about the Houston Astros and Yordan Alvarez dominating the Chicago White Sox by the final of 6-1 to take Game 1 of the ALDS. Lance Lynn, when I watched him, he looked lost on the mound. He was rocked because the Astros definitely had his number. Lance Lynn is a good regular season pitcher, but he wasn't good today. So hopefully in his next start, he'll get revenge and redemption in his next start. So anyways, folks, let's talk about Nelson Cruz and Randy Arozarena and the Tampa Bay Rays shutting out the Boston Red Sox to open the ALDS. I'll tell you what, the Rays are a dangerous team. And this team made history this season by winning 100 games. And this Rays team is a team that everybody should keep an eye out on, just because the Rays are just that good of a team here. And to open the ALDS like that, it's a good way to do it. In a way like, oh, the Rays, they're a team that you can't sleep on. And the Rays are a team that you can't underestimate. Everybody thought that this team would take a step back just because the Rays, however, the Rays are a team that has very good pitching. They have a lot of good hitters. And talk about a guy in Wander Franco that's really has taken over the everyday starting shortstop role. And I think that the Rays are in a good place. Also, let's look ahead to Game 2 for both teams tomorrow. So tomorrow in Game 2 of the ALDS, the White Sox, it'll be the White Sox and Astros at 11 o'clock Pacific time. That will be Lucas Giolito, who looks to try to even up the series tomorrow, will go up against Framber Valdez. And for the Rays and Red Sox game, Shane Baez will go up against Chris Sale. And then on CBS tomorrow for the NLDS at 1:37 p.m. Pacific time, you'll get to see Charlie Morton go up against Corbin Burns. And then at 6:37 p.m. Pacific time, the Dodgers and the Giants will go head-to-head. It'll be Walker Buehler going up against Logan Webb. So Isaiah just said probably can't back on because he said the internet is bad again. So probably I'll be continuing on this show without him. So, anyways, that is the MLB preview of the postseason. But other news to talk about here is that Walker Buehler and Julio Urias are set for their NLDS starts in San Francisco. And then also, I want to give you my thought. So, with that being said here, there's hope that Max Muncy will be back. So, probably he won't be playing in the NLDS. He will probably expect him to be back for the probably the NLCS if the Dodgers advance, or probably the World Series. So we'll see how that elbow responds. So, anyways, folks, now let's talk about some NBA. So we'll talk about top standouts and the highlights in the Lakers' first 2 games of the preseason. I mean, when I watch the highlights, I think Kendrick Nunn can be a contributor on this team. And then also you talk about guys like Talen Horton-Tucker. And then but for me, I'm more excited about seeing Anthony Davis, LeBron James, and Russell Westbrook play on the same floor at Staples Center when the Lakers go out there and play every night. I know, Isaiah, if you're watching, I can't wait for when the Lakers go up against your boy, Devin Booker. I know you are a Devin Booker lover. So, and then we'll talk, and then also on Wild Sports Talk, on one of the shows that we will do, we will be previewing the NBA season and talking about which teams will be finishing in the top 6, who's going to be in the play-in tournament, who's going to be the worst team in the NBA. That is going to be something that we're going to be talking about and debating on this program. So let's talk about some college football. So I was on this college football show, looking forward to the Iowa Hawkeyes going up against Penn State. I picked the Penn State Nittany Lions to go out there on top, but I think Iowa's pretty good too. But also in the Big Ten, talk about Michigan. We talked about Michigan taking it to the next level, and this team cannot beat teams like Michigan State and Ohio State. I think that this is the year that they finally do it. I think that Jim Harbaugh is definitely going to be safe from his job, and I do expect the Michigan Wolverines to sneak into that college football playoff race. So I'm looking forward to seeing what they do this weekend. And then the Alabama Crimson Tide. I looked at their schedule, and it seems very favorable until the Iron Bowl. USC, they're still struggling right now. But when they figure out who their new head coach will be, then I think that the USC Trojans will be in good hands. But like I said, I am urging the USC Trojans to hire Jack Del Rio, just because he brings toughness and discipline into that locker room, and he could develop these college kids and make them into very good elite NFL players too. So, anyways, folks, sorry this is a short show, everyone. It would go longer if Isaiah was on here. So it is time for final thoughts. All right, folks. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. Thank you for Isaiah for tuning in. But I hope that your internet situation is fixed. So we'll get that figured out shortly. And my final thoughts is that I am looking forward to week 4 of the NFL season. I will not be on Wild Sports Talk until next Friday because I will be on assignment with the Colorcast app, as I will be doing game one of the NLDS tomorrow between the Dodgers and the Giants. I'll be doing game 2 on Saturday. I'll be doing games 3 and 4 on Monday and Tuesday. So that's why I won't be on Wild Sports Talk then. And then game 5, if necessary, on Thursday. So anyways, folks, my final thoughts is that I expect the Dodgers to win this in 4. So Loro signing off for now. Have a great rest of your night. And catch me again on Sunday for the Extra Point with my guys, Ben Curse and Sammy Sharp. Enjoy your night, everybody.